Hello, Teacher Stephanie. I wanted to show you a quick video of my VIPKID classroom, how I have it set up. So, a few things that I think are essential to every VIPKID classroom are a headset, and I think you don't have to go really fancy for a headset. I think I got this one at Walmart, and it was about $20. It's a Logitech kind of entry level headset, but the essential thing to have when you have a headset is this nifty little mute button so that when I am teaching, I can turn it on if something happens and there's chaos in the background of my classroom. I can mute it and the students won't hear. And also I like to mute it before class so that nobody really hears the background noise of our house and things like that. My headset plugs into a USB and I like that, but that's just something to consider when you are looking at headsets. I considered getting a wireless one that doesn't plug in, like a Bluetooth capable, but it hasn't really been necessary. I've been just fine with it. I have caught myself a few times in my cord, but I don't really have to walk around while I'm much or far while I'm teaching, so it hasn't been worth it to invest in that. And the headset was probably something that I bought within the first 2 lessons that I taught. When I did my interview, I used the Apple earbuds that have the microphone. That's what I used for my interview. And after I passed the interview, I think that's when I bought the headsets for the mock section of the interview process. And it was $20. I didn't really feel like it was too much money to spend if I didn't pass the interview. The next thing that I did was to celebrate my first contract was to buy an external webcam. That has been helpful, not necessarily necessary. I am totally fine teaching class with my factory installed webcam. The images were just a little not even blurry, just a little like buttery, I guess would be a good term for it. I just turned it on here a minute ago, and the images with this external camera are much clearer images, and I felt like after I did my first contracts are 6 months, that it was time to maybe just upgrade my classroom. So those are like the essential items for teaching. Some other things that I use often are a whiteboard that I have installed onto our wall in our house, and magnets on it. And I love this because I can actually take this whiteboard down if I ever wanted to. I just used the like command strips to Velcro it on. It's those Velcro command strips, and I found this whiteboard at the thrift store, and I love this because my classroom is actually in the middle of our house downstairs. So when we have people come over, I can leave this up and just take the magnets down, or if I wanted to, I could just take this all the way down, and no one could tell that I have a VIPKID classroom in the middle of our playroom, technically dining room area. The next thing that I did for us was set up a backdrop for myself. I did that because my husband was leaving to work during class time, and I didn't feel like it was professional for him to pass behind me during class. So we made this backdrop, and I made it with a PVC pipe set up similar to if you had a rolling hang clothes rack. So it's like a square, and then it has like a base that is built to it. It's really simple and it was really cheap. It took me a while to figure out what measurements and orientation I liked, and our laundry room is actually just right next to this. So when I'm done teaching, I just slide it into the laundry room, and it hasn't really been a big issue to have in our house. It's been pretty convenient. I considered using the rolling clothes rack, but I like how I was able to get this as high as it was. That height was necessary for my classroom setup. That's why I like the PVC pipe setup, because you can kind of manipulate the dimensions to fit what works best for you. I have found I had these in my house. They were leftover craft projects, but the felt shows up really nicely on the camera. This is glitter letters, and they don't really show well, but I do think that it is essential to have your name and then VIP Kid in the background. Now, I have a regular student that I teach much more often and I'll open up special slots for. I do not pull this out for him. The background of our house is just toys on a shelf behind me. So it is totally fine to have that. It doesn't look messy or cluttered back there. The other essential that I would recommend is to have your computer eye level or higher. So I will pull the camera off to show you how I have that set up. Here we go. It might get a little dizzy here. Let's move this camera so you can see I have it set up onto one of these cool little drawer systems, and this is also where I keep all of my props. And there we are. So anything that you have to set yourself up a little higher is helpful. I also just taught a class recently standing, and I have heard all of these things, and my desk at my day job is a standing desk, and so I thought I'd try it, and I did actually really like standing for class. I felt more professional teaching, and I felt like I was moving more and giving more TPR, which is the movements and cueing using your hands and body language. So I think I might consider that if I start teaching more classes, if I open up more in my schedule, to do that standing desk, because it keeps my energy level high, keeps me engaged more. So if I were to do that, I would need to lift this maybe just a little bit more. I'd make some more adjustments. But those are the essentials that I feel like every kid teacher needs, is their name, a whiteboard, or something really fun for your background that you can quickly change. So your name, a whiteboard, or something in the background that you can change to adapt to your classroom. A headset, nothing crazy expensive. And then your external webcam, which, like I said, isn't necessarily essential, but is helpful and makes your classroom look a little more professional. Oh, lighting as well. So my lighting setup, you can see some shadow behind me, and it bugs me, that shadow, but it's fine. I can't set up my lighting any differently. I suggest 2 lighting sources at minimum. So one very bright light is sitting just right behind my camera, and it shines directly here, and that is where most of my light comes from. And then I have another light in the corner, and this light kind of shines towards me this direction. And so I'll turn it off and you can see the difference. It's not a big difference. So I don't necessarily think that one is super essential, but it kind of helps to eliminate some of the shadow that kind of bugs me. So that is the essential setup of a VIPKID classroom that I think is necessary. Other teachers have amazing, elaborate setups and essentials, but those are some of the quick and simple things that I think every VIPKID teacher needs. Thanks. Have a good day.